What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Clash of Clubs, episode 89. I'm Dylan alongside Mila and Grant, as always. It's a big week. I would say it's probably the biggest week for all of our teams in terms of the fixture list that is ahead of us and the importance of said fixture list. Your teams travel to faraway lands, aka France and Spain, and my team stays at home. And we don't have a lot to talk about when it comes to United, so we'll start there. Because ultimately, this game could be a potential UCL decider between Aston Villa and Manchester United. Start there, and then we'll talk about the teams that are actually currently playing in the competition. And we'll go to Paris. We'll preview Chelsea as they look to put their nuts on the table again and, I guess, stake the claim of world champion on top of them again. I don't know. We'll talk about PSG. They've been a bit of a mess, just like Chelsea have kind of been a bit of a mess. So that is a bunch of storylines there. And then we'll finalize the episode. We'll finish it with a Real Madrid fan coming on. And he will we'll talk about the shitstorm that has been Real Madrid this season before previewing a game that happens every fucking year. And I fully expect it to happen every year on this podcast. Is Shadman will come on and he will talk about Manchester City versus Real Madrid every single time.
Second time this year.
It's already the second time this year.
We'll play them 3 times this year. It's more than some Premier League teams.
Did he come on the pod last year for the same exact fixture?
Probably.
Yeah, I think he did. So, for us being a Premier League podcast, I didn't ever think we'd have this much time with Shadman with the Madrid focus. But I'm very happy that we had, because he's got I think a good view on Real Madrid. He's just like us. But whatever. It should be a long pod. It should be a good pod. So we'll kick on into it. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Clash of Clubs. I'm Dylan. They just got punched in the mouth. They didn't even know how to react.
That is one Derby Diamond.
I'm Mila. Do we want to do a little prediction?
That was the last time they showed an initiative to go get a fucking player.
City are still alive here. Balotelli. Aguero.
I'm Grant. They're talking a lot about you 15. How will you respond to 15?
We downgraded from Peppa. Do you know how absurd that is?
Ladies and gentlemen, it's match day.
247 subscribers as of today. So thank you guys. 3. Thank you. Thank you for the catch. Whatever. I'm just downgrading our views so that people feel bad for us, and then hit the like and the subscribe and the comment and all that fun stuff. It's a good catch though, because it's important. We are growing and we are on the road to 500 at some point in the future. I think I'm going to, you know what? We're setting the goal today. It's 500 subscribers by the time that the World Cup rolls around. So everyone's got until June. So that seems fair. That seems reasonable.
Can I make 153 accounts in that time? We will.
I think you could. I think you could. I don't think it would be that difficult. We just got to get on ChatGPT to spam new Gmail accounts. Hey, that's what we do here. Dedicated podcast. Anyways, UCL decider. I really do think that we talked about it in our last pod, but overarching theme is whatever team picks up 3 points here has a very, very big 6-point swing. And for Villa, if they don't right the ship here, I think we all kind of assume that they will focus on Europa with the way that the rest of their schedule kind of shakes out and just their dip in form. The XG monster is finally caught up to them. And then for United, you play 1 game a week for the rest of the year. And actually the I think we're going to be in Europe by the next time that United played 3 matches. It's like something crazy. Like this was 12 days. I think the next stretch is like 10 days. And then the stretch after that is like 24 days.
After the FA Cup final or the Carabao Cup final.
Yeah, I want to say there's an FA Cup round somewhere in between there too, or like the weekend after.
It's the week.
That's of no concern.
Yeah, it's the 4th and 5th weekend.
Ridiculous. So important.
Yeah, FA Cups comes back. That's the first games back from the international break, right? Yeah.
Yes, which is super weird. I don't think that's normally like that. I want to say that might be a consequence of the World Cup being there at the end. I'm not really sure though. I feel like that's not the normal case, but I also don't remember the last time United played a 40-game season, so I can't really know what this feeling is, but it is important, and that's where we'll start. And I think we'll keep it short with this one. This will just be a preview video. We talked about all the storylines last week, so I guess I'll turn it over to you guys. What do you guys want to see from Aston Villa first? How do they beat Manchester United in this one?
I think they need to be a lot more organized for this game. I mean, the Chelsea game, I thought our attackers did well given their opportunities, but at the same time, the defense was just all over the place. Matty Cash got an early yellow, so he came off at half. But I think the partnership of Mings and Konsa looked really sloppy. Again, the midfield, these guys are tired, ran through, it feels like. Fixtures are really getting to them. They just need to be up for it. They obviously, we know they have a good home atmosphere, but I mean, they just got battered there, and now they're traveling. Like you said, this is make or break for them. So they just really need to be up for it. As much of a simpleton take as that might be, they just need to get up for it. And again, the way they've been winning games throughout the season, individual brilliance, you're going to need that too, because at this point in the season, you can't rewrite the recipe. You're in too deep.
Yeah. Mila, from your perspective, is there anything different than what Grant said to Aston Villa's keys to success?
No, I think just try to create a little more. Obviously, like Grant's saying, it's hard to be a team that just creates chances at will. This is more of a result of the process type of thing. But they didn't really create much against Chelsea. And on top of that, weren't organized. So it just became a shit show. So I think, yeah, Grant's spot on. They stay organized and can have a little more optimism in the attacking third, then there's a chance, especially with United leaving it
Drop
there.
Ollie Watkins. Drop Ollie Watkins. I think that's one more thing.
Who?
Tammy
That's
Abraham,
the
of course.
issue. I mean, yeah, I guess you could do that, but like
I
he hasn't been
guess.
anything special either.
Give him a run. I think from what I'm seeing from Villa fans, they're fed up. And I think looking at his numbers this season, right, he's maybe a little past it physically. He's past 30 now. I mean, they need a new injection of life, it feels like. And I think maybe give Tammy a go. I mean, you got rid of all your other forwards that are going and scoring goals on loan for other teams, but yeah, you might as well give Tammy a go at this point.
That happened for a reason, though.
That's
because
true.
They weren't scoring on this team.
Yeah, Gasson was playing out wide. Now he's playing a little more inside. But yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna say he was fucking amazing when he was at Villa. But yeah, it's a bad look. So got to try and spice it up, I think. I mean,
I don't know. I'm not sure if playing Tammy Abraham against Maguire is your best solution. You know what I mean? That's not like Maguire has done well against big strikers in this run-in. Like he's just given people problems, and I think that's just like not the matchup I'd go with. I think.
Yeah.
Look, Watkins did pose a threat in the Chelsea game. He was just offsides by a mile, and he was wasteful. Not that he's not getting the chances; he's just not putting them away at the rate that he normally does.
Yeah.
And to your point, though, like look, they've been playing awful. Maybe you need to switch it up. And from Emery's point of view, this has been my biggest critique of him: is he doesn't make those changes when his back's against the wall. He kind of sticks to what he knows best, and maybe Tammy Abraham has a good performance, and they can go with him for the rest of the year. You never know until you try it. So, their injuries got worse and worse. I feel pretty confident in. It's weird because I shouldn't feel confident after dropping points, but I think that when we talked about the 2 games a week thing, that the idea that United have this much time off, haven't played in forever. I'm assuming Martinez is back. I probably shouldn't, but he was supposed to be close to a return against Newcastle. So if he was close to a return there, you'd have to think with 12 days off, he's probably back. We record these. I have no idea. He was close. He was like a weak injury in November, and then he's been out since, and nobody knows what. It seems to be another back thing. So he's clearly got some chronic back issue, and I don't know why that they're hiding it the way they are. It really hasn't made that much of a difference to the grand scheme of things for the team, but that's been his MO. He's kind of been one of those injury riddled center backs, and he's very good when he plays, but if He's not available. I just don't really like talking about him because it's not important.
I can't
Can't
believe
provide minutes.
Sancho can't play because he's still a Man United player. I just checked and it says he's suspended. I totally forgot he's still a Man United player.
Yeah,
Jeez.
he's on loan in the last year of his contract.
Man, enjoy those wages, brother.
Yeah, 80% Villa are paying him.
Oh,
that,
yeah,
which is
yeah.
ridiculous,
Well,
too.
he's never getting them again. Yeah, that's why he didn't come back.
Yeah, gosh, man.
Sidetrack. We're
Yeah,
getting sidetracked.
it is. I mean,
yeah,
let's
so
switch it to the United perspective now.
Yeah.
Yeah, how do United beat Villa?
Make them unorganized. Everything, the opposite of what Grant was basically saying. But
Yeah.
like, you guys thrive off basically
Chaos.
space for your forward players to break into. If they're organized, that makes your forwards' jobs a lot harder. So try to cause some chaos, get them balls over the top, through on space. I feel like is the easy way to do it. They're pretty good at blocking shots, so I think any type of game where you're going around the outside and trying to score from that is going to be more difficult. But I don't know. If they play into your hands, I think it'll be a walk in the park. And it seems like that'll be the case as of their recent performances.
Yeah, I don't.
I try to go back to what Craig was telling us about kind of how they would play the first time Chelsea played them, and he got it spot on. Where it's just they're going to sit back for 45 minutes and then go. That's probably your best bet right now. Like me was just saying though, it's not their current MO, so it appears. So we'll see how they approach the game, but it very well could end up being a humbler the game before. And now that's like, okay, I'm not taking my chances. Who knows what exactly Emery's thinking, but yeah, I think Mila makes a good point. If you create chaos, and especially their midfield's just decimated. So I think that's, and you always say it in a lot of games, but that's probably where the game ends up being won. Yeah, it really just depends on how Villa come at this game. But yeah, you guys, you need to be clinical. And I think kind of to a lot of the points you were making with the performance after Newcastle, where now it's almost like it takes too much to get up to speed because of how little you're playing. Like it's almost too little of games. Yeah, that can't happen. They need to be ready for minute 1 because Villa will present opportunities and you don't know how many. So you got to take advantage while they're there.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see how the front line is set up. I think that's the biggest question mark that I have. Obviously, Cunha playing off the left. We've talked about him being more of an inside forward. He's less of that touch line winger off the left, and that has caused United some issues, especially not having Luke Shaw is Luke Shaw. He's got limitations at this point in his career, so he's not overlapping. No Dorgu makes that an issue. So I'd like to see them play one of Ahmed or Mbeumo out there and start Cunha off the bench for this one. I think that Sesko's been really good, and I thought he was actually pretty good in the Newcastle game too. And I don't think that he deserves to get moved to the bench in favor of that 3 that we were running against City and against Arsenal, because that's not what this game's going to be. I anticipate that we hold possession. Villa have they're a shell of themselves. So if you can just be, like you said, just organized, if you can see out the first 15 minutes of the match, let Old Trafford breathe into the game, and then you hit them with players that should be putting away chances. Like Mbeumo was super wasteful against Newcastle. Go back and watch some of the chances he had. He was just wasteful. He puts those chances away. They do it early. I think this game, just like the Chelsea game, can get kind of ugly just with the form. But for both teams, like we said, this is a big match. So I don't really know how it's actually going to play out. But I do feel somewhat confident in United getting 3 points. I don't know how comfortable it's going to be, but this is the biggest response game that Carrick's got to go. It's the first time they've lost under him. I'm expecting him to make changes. That's kind of the first thing that I want to see as a United fan is we haven't really seen much change other than like a Sesko coming in. So you want the United job at the end of the season. These are the games where you make your mark. We know that City, Arsenal, those games they can get up for. The talent of them is better than the stretch that they went through beforehand. When you need to pick up 3 points in a game that really, really matters, what changes are you going to make that are going to outsmart a guy like Emery? Because that's how you really test how good of a manager you are. If you're better than Emery on the day, that proves you can be better than him on multiple days. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. But I feel like this this preview is pretty shut and dry because I think you're looking at two teams that are playing kind of one way. I think they both play 4-4-2s out of possession, and in possession it's counter-attacking based. So I guess I'm just waiting.
Point at each other.
Yeah, it's literally the Spider-Man meme. I think that's a really good point. Their stretch of good form was like just during the middle portion of the season. Ours has been now. So yeah, should be a good one though. I think that's probably the matchup of the weekend if you had to look at the table outside of I don't think there's any other big games like that. Like you guys, Chelsea play Newcastle.
Yeah.
We'll do our predictions before Shadman gets in for the weekend ones, but I think we transition to Perry. Do we go to Perry? Like I said, the world champions of what? As our American counterpart would say, this is a chance to prove it. PSG have been out of form. They haven't looked good. I think you texted us that they look like crap against Monaco, which they did. And now Chelsea have a chance to go ahead in a tie away from home with the advantage of going back to Stamford Bridge in the second leg. So do we want to start with PSG or do you want to start with Chelsea?
I feel like we can start with PSG. I feel like we're all a little less tapped in regarding them, but they're currently only up by 1 point in the league, I believe. If not, it's very close. So the league is not a write-off right now, which it typically is. To go along with that, they had their game in between these two fixtures canceled and rescheduled. So only thing to worry about is us. They lost to Monaco in the league with the strong side that they put out to go along with going down against Monaco in both legs before Monaco got a red card. So they're definitely not in the best of form. Fabian Ruiz has been a huge miss for them. João Neves, I believe, is about to be fit for this game. Hopefully he pulls Cucurella's hair again. But we talk about it in our group chat all the time, but losing Donnarumma willingly, I think, has absolutely killed them. I feel like every time we talk about Chelsea's backline, a lot of it has to do with, confidence starts from the back, and it goes both ways with the goalkeepers and the center backs. Having, whether it's Chevalier or Stefanov,
It's garbage.
Regardless, nowhere near the level that Donnarumma was. And again, it's been explicitly stated on this show, Donnarumma is one of the huge reasons they won the Champions League in the first place. I think back to the Aston Villa game at Villa Park. I mean, he was ridiculous. I mean, that's just one of them. He was really good the entire run. Arsenal as well. He was fantastic. So they are not the same team, and they have the same problems as us. They are exhausted. Played in the same tournament all the way up until the final. Injuries are starting to hit them. Dembele, and again, we know historically speaking, he tends to pick up an injury or two, but he hasn't been fit for the full year. So, yeah, I think we should be able to go beat them.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that it's out of the cards. I mean, you guys you have that over them, and there's a mental side of the sport. That team just on paper, you look at it and it's fucking good. Like it's still good. Like, the goalkeeper is obviously the glaring spot where you're like, that's not good. But I mean, that back line, barring Marquinhos, is the same.
They're an
on
on-paper team.
Did they get healthy though?
Type of club that they are. What?
Who?
They get healthier this week. Like Dembele, I know he got a run out. So does that mean he starts?
Dembele, João Neves is supposed to come back. I think Marquinhos is fit.
Okay, so I mean that's no
Zabarnyi.
Yeah, but I've heard complaints about him from PSG fans.
That doesn't surprise me.
I think the midfield's a huge strength for us, in my opinion. I think that's an advantage. We saw it in the summer, but they have some brilliant midfielders at their club, but they are very small. And we have some very physical midfielders, and I would like to believe that it is going to be a pivot of Reece James and Moises Caicedo. I think we can absolutely do damage on that front. I mean, even last year when they were really good, they battered Liverpool at home in the first leg, could not score a goal, in large part to Alisson. and they lose 1-0. So even when they were at their best, they're beatable away from home. So I really think that they can be gotten at, but we do not have the same manager, which I'm less concerned about. What I'm more concerned about in regards to the last game versus now is we do not have Levi Colwill in the middle.
Yep.
Is Cucurella going to play?
I do not know. He came out. He was a sub for the Wrexham game, so he's getting back to full fitness. Hato's looked really good. I wouldn't be shocked if Hato started.
Hato can deal one-on-one in the Premier League, but to have to deal with Doué and Hakimi overlapping is a lot.
Yeah, that's tough.
I would prefer Cucurella, but I do not want to see him get hurt again. So I don't have those medical reports and all that shit. But if he's fit, he starts, I would think. I think we set up the same as we did in the final. We saw the same setup against Aston Villa. One of the fullbacks holds the width. Palmer tucks in from the right. Enzo's the other 10. And then you have a left winger. And I never thought I would say these words out loud. I hope Garnacho starts.
That is going to be a mistake.
Because
that's going to be a mistake. I'm telling you, those words are going to be a mistake.
Here's the reason. I think you know the reason.
Go ahead. I'm gonna dispute why. Yeah.
Okay. And you got to let this land. The only other option is Neto. Mm-hmm. And the reason that we raved about him and what he can do for your team, and especially in that final as well, was the ability to track back, right? He was almost a wing back at times when we played PSG last. Mm-hmm. I think he has developed a serious case of main character syndrome. I talked about it in regards to the Wrexham game. And again, we're playing Wrexham. It's a different level by all means. Instead of the winger role, he was given the Palmer role. Like, yeah, just free roam, find your spots. I wish I could have washed my eyes out after that performance. So I don't think he can flip the switch and go, I need to do a job for my team. Garnacho has been doing that job. And I think fair play to him. He's shown a lot about his mentality since coming back into the team, because he was barely even getting a sniff since Roseniors came in. So to come in and put in that type of performance, I know I'm one of his biggest critics, but the whole attitude problem, I'm seeing all of that with Pedro Neto, not Garnacho. So between the two, I hope Garnacho starts.
The difference for me is you're talking about 4 minutes of Urian Timber. You're talking, or I don't even know who it may have been in Capier. I can't remember who was playing right. Was it right back? Yeah. In the 4 minute cameo. It was Timber. Yeah. In the game against Arsenal. It was a 4 minute cameo there. No. But this is what I'm saying is it was a 4 minute thing against Timber. It was a 4 minute a full 90 against Matty Cash on a yellow. And it was the Wrexham right back. You're talking about Hakimi. Like that's my whole point. That's my whole argument is Garnacho does not you're saying he tracks back. The players that he's tracking back against that wasn't what he was being asked to do.
Sure,
it's not. Hakimi will torch your team and destroy your structure. That's his whole role. They don't. This is the thing with PSG is they can hurt you as much as they hurt themselves.
Of course.
And the idea of Garnacho having to track Hakimi defeats all of the good portions, I think, of Garnacho's game, which is being one-on-one, more on the front foot. And I just don't see him being smart enough to play against a Hakimi. And I think that could be a very. This is just
You've seen his defensive work a lot more than I have. So I will give you that and default that. I continue to maintain my stance only because of the recent form of Pedro Neto. That's how bad it's been.
If Garnacho
he doesn't even track back, Dylan. He'll lose the ball in the middle of the field in his own half and then look at someone to blame. That performance was a disgrace. And I cannot see it again. And 3 days after? He deserves to be punished for how awful he was. And I know I've openly not liked him for quite a while on the show, but this is not agenda driven. I see him, you know what? Perfect. Wrexham confidence boost. He got a hat trick in the last round. Do it again. It was a disgrace, and I cannot believe he played 100 minutes in that game. He was awful. And a lot of it wasn't just the attacking stuff because he was terrible. He wasn't working hard either. That's the whole point with Neto, right? He works hard. He didn't work hard. So I don't think that's acceptable.
I'm looking at the heat maps of what Garnacho was doing. He's not tracking back. And I think the idea of unless you're playing a 3-back, that could be the counter to this. and it's just playing Garnacho further forward. But if you're going to ask him to mark Hakimi, you guys will lose. That's just my.
Definitely interesting to revisit because that's how bad Neto's been. But it's a fair argument, and again, you've seen him track back in his defensive work a lot more than I have.
The other argument that you could make here is that you just play another midfielder, right? Like you put in an Andre,
left wing shit,
a wide midfielder,
and you just take out the idea of that, which could be that could be the way forward. I actually think that would be the smart.
So who do you put in the 10?
Probably, right? Because if you're maybe it's Santos. I don't know. I don't know who you would deploy there. This is where it's not my job.
Yeah, Andre knows how to beat PSG. He's captained Strasbourg to a win over PSG. Let's get real shameless in here.
Or maybe you play Delap. Maybe this is a game for Delap, and you play.
This is not a game for Delap.
This is the issue.
I can assure you, this is not a game for Delap.
And maybe to your point, like, and this is why I think it's going to be a little bit of a tighter contest. Is I haven't seen you guys play a team that's been very good and beat them recently. And not to say that PSG are very good, right? They've been pretty bad, but they have enough talent to
They're capable. They're definitely
capable. This is their competition, right? Like this is the one they have to stake their claim in. Like the league is just a league to them. It really doesn't matter. They will probably win it. All things considered, they will probably win it. They rotated. They got the league to literally cancel a game. They will probably win the league. So I think that I hate that matchup of. And maybe I'm just stuck on it too much, so I'm going to stop talking about it. Mila, from a Chelsea perspective, how do they beat PSG? Or how do they get a result? Maybe is a better point because you're away.
You want to know the easy answer?
Yes.
Don't get a red card. That's a good one.
Good starting point.
I think we're looking at this in a friendly matchup type of way, but you guys are going to be walking in with world champion badge that you took off of them. And now they have a chance to get back at you in a competition that actually matters. I would not be, I'm sorry, it's true. But like you're saying, depleted defense, like I'm more worried on how you minimize the damage in the first leg. Because they have all the control in this leg. It's a young team too. They're not going to like losing and then having to play that game again. They're not going to just roll over for Chelsea. I think this leg is going to be tough, like super tough. And so the person I'm looking at, and again, he's been very good, but like Dylan was saying, it hasn't been against very good teams. I just want to see João Pedro play good against PSG. This is basically what I was talking about. In the big games, he looks weak and he makes the wrong decisions, in my opinion.
I thought he already scored against PSG in a final.
In what?
He literally prefaced this with
in the Club World Cup
that matters. That he did.
What exactly does the club, the champions of the world mean? Because you guys don't act like it right now either. So
100%.
It doesn't mean shit.
It doesn't mean shit to these guys.
It doesn't mean shit to anyone. It's just a fucking badge to put on the jersey. Like
I don't think you'd be saying that if you won the tournament, but I digress.
I never talked about World. All I have to do is point to the trophies on the jersey.
I kind of forgot that there was a giant fight at the end of that game.
Yeah, bro, they don't like us.
I forgot about that.
They're not going to be like absolutely going to be a terrible game for Chelsea, I think. And a shaky defense against a pissed off PSG. In my eyes, good luck to Chelsea on the away leg, and do everything you can in the home leg to get a higher deficit of a win.
So do you think we should approach this game in more of a sit back, absorb?
No, not necessarily. Just be ready for I think like you were talking about the midfield. The midfield,
stay concentrated.
Yeah, stay concentrated and stay locked in. The midfield point is a good point. I wouldn't want my players thinking that, because they're going to walk in thinking they can bully that midfield, and they're going to
They've done it.
That's fine in a game that didn't matter. Again, this is the Champions League.
I think it mattered to them because they tried to fight us after the game.
I understand. Like,
it mattered to all the players.
I honestly, like, it doesn't take much to want to fight your team. You got Cucurella on it.
And Enzo.
So
there's some shit.
So to me, like, just really walk in there.
Fight Enzo?
No idea. No idea.
Like, there's plenty of reason to fight the Chelsea team, but again, this is a tournament that has meaning to it.
Prestige.
prestige, sure. That
history, by all
it's
means.
like all of it. This is
Established.
the like Dylan was saying, this is the tournament for them. So this isn't just a midsummer tournament. This is like something they're going to put everything into. I'm not trying to minimize that tournament, but this is a whole different pedigree. The Club
Agreed.
World
It's
Cup
not
has
comparable to the
it doesn't
Champions
come
League.
close to the Carabao Cup. So how's it going to come close to the Champions League?
I don't know. I mean,
In
it's a
terms
brand
of what
new
it means, I'm
competition,
not wrong.
and-
I'm like
The
Whatever you
history
say, man.
isn't the same.
Yeah,
The
by all
history is-
means.
you guys
but-
are Club
put a lot
World.
into-
You're champions of the world for the next 4 years, but in that time, you could still get relegated. Like it really means nothing.
I mean, we literally won the Champions League, rebuilt, sucked for 3 years, and then won the tournament. So that's another fair point.
Exactly. Like it
Um,
means fucking.
yeah.
It really doesn't mean anything.
I think if you mean in terms of your team going forward, I would agree with you. It doesn't justify like, oh, yep, this group of players, they're set for 4 straight years. I agree with that. I disagree in the sense of all of the big teams in the world invested extra money to go try and win it.
Of course, you
It's a
want to
new
win
competition.
it.
They're trying to
it's
build
a
it
nice
up, but
thing
it's a
to
new
have when you
competition.
play like
So-
a champion. You guys is getting red cards every other game is not playing like champions. So like, don't use the badge. Is my point. Like it means nothing in this point of view.
I agree in the context of what
You
you're saying.
represent nothing from that. Like it's not like you were some world beaters that earned.
It's not. If you compared it to the gold line on the side of your shirts in the past, it doesn't. It pales in comparison. I agree.
We are
Either way, it
losing
has
the
nothing
plot.
to do with this
We're
conversation.
losing the plot. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to steer it back.
agreed.
I want to
We
steer it
agreed.
back into the direction of the game because my biggest concern, right? I'm going to change this to a concern point for Chelsea is honestly just the amount of chances you will give up. Because Wrexham, you gave up a bunch of chances. Even in the Villa game in the first half, you gave up a bunch of chances. And those PSG is not a team you can give chances to. You give them chances,
Yes.
they will hurt you. But on the flip side of that, I think you could say the exact same thing from a PSG perspective. So you guys are very like for like in the way that you're currently playing, which is it's high attacking style of football, but you can get got at very easily.
Yes.
And so the idea of which manager kind of takes it to the other manager, I anticipate for all the things that you're saying, all the storylines, it'll have to be PSG taking it to Chelsea. And then if you guys hit off the counter, that's the way of going forward. That's how Monaco just beat him.
The way
That's
this
how
defense is going to be set up, I personally, like at home, I don't see why PSG would not go take it to Chelsea.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Especially if Grant's talking about putting Reece James in the pivot. That means you have Gusto up against Barcola.
I mean, to Grant's point earlier today, he wasn't in any of the training photos. So who knows if
No,
Reece
he
James
was.
Oh, he was? Okay.
Some investigators found
Okay.
it. I mean,
Okay.
I think we set up very similar to how we set up when we beat them because it's again a similar way how we set up when we just played Villa and looked strong. That does not mean we're not going to concede chances, and we replace Colwell with Fofana in that setup, and Colwell in the middle was able to just ping passes left and right, just ease up the pressure. So we don't have that in the back line now. I haven't even brought it up yet. I don't know who's starting in goal.
Yeah, it's probably Jorgensen.
I have no idea.
If
It
Sanchez
might be
started
Jorgensen,
against
and that scares
Wexen,
me.
it's definitely Jorgensen.
And we started Sanchez in
that.
that world in the final, but
man.
we played the ball long. We did a lot of playing the ball long, and
Yeah.
from what it looks like, Rosinier's not a fan of that. So we all know Robert Sanchez isn't great with the ball at his feet. So yeah, I have no idea who's starting in goal. I think that plays a part, but again, I think that's pretty self-explanatory in terms of ball playing goalkeeper versus shot stopping goalkeeper. We know what that means. So that's another interesting point.
This is such a entertaining game from all the storylines and everything
Should
that
be.
could possibly coming up within it. Like I think from a PSG's perspective, the only thing that I could look at and when I'm looking at the coach, right, is fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice. You can't let that happen. So I'm curious to see how he responds to the Reece into the midfield and how he gets around it because he was able to kind of fool everybody with his tactics last year in the run into winning the Champions League. So he's the guy that's got to make the statement.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
It's interesting. We have an idea of how they're going to set up, obviously, and it's a new coach, but they've faced off before. Obviously, Rosinio was coaching at Strasbourg, so they know they have experience on that front. There are a ton of storylines, but like you said, Dylan, I'd be shocked if there weren't multiple goals.
I'm expecting fireworks. I'm hoping it's
Both teams
fireworks.
to score.
Yeah, that seems like a pretty
Bank
safe
on
That's
it.
the
bet.
banker.
That seems like a pretty safe bet.
Yeah.
Predicky for this game, just to have it out in the open.
Oh, so this won't count.
No. I'm not going to put it on the counter or anything, but just to say that we
Damn.
were right or wrong.
All right. I will go 3-2. Palmer. They're saying a lot about you, 10. How will you respond, 10? Come on.
I'm going to flip that score line. I'm going to go 3-2 PSG, which is still a good result, in my opinion, for Chelsea. I'd feel pretty good about that if you can weather the storm to a certain extent. And I'm going to go with Dembele's so good. He's so good. Yeah, he's going to win another match if he starts. Yeah. Mila, what are you feeling? Parc de France.
3-1 PSG. Doué.
Ooh, Desiree
I think he's
Doué.
hurt.
Oh, did
Wait,
play
he
last
played
year?
against Monaco, didn't he?
Yeah.
Or did he come off hurt? Okay. So no,
I saw
you're not an
Barcola
idiot.
in the projected 11.
Oh, he
so I was
came
like,
out.
oh,
Came
Doué
off
must
hurt.
be hurt.
Okay.
Barcola
Well,
started
then-
at striker. I'd feel a little more confident if he starts as striker. I might switch my opinion on the Chelsea match. I'm not that high on Barcola, if I'm being honest with you.
All right, let's go Kvaradona then. If there's no Doué,
Seems simple.
is he also hurt?
It's
He went out at the same time.
The question of PSG this season is that guy hurt?
Is he
Hurt
hurt?
or not?
He might be. He might be. I think we transition to a team that has a lot of players hurt and a season that probably hurts. And our guest who is probably going to be hurt talking about said team. Oh, behind the brick wall. He comes and appears.
Yeah,
Shadman.
I'm doing that so I could, escape.
The utter
Go back
woke
into the
nonsense wall. That's what that
Yeah.
is. How are you? What's going on?
I'm all right, man. The world's an interestingly shitty place right now, but we always hope for the best. That's what keeps us going. We have hope, and so we keep watching and we keep hoping.
Yeah, I titled this "What the fuck is happening at Madrid?" because I think the last time we talked, you were like, Xavi Alonso is going to get sacked before the end of the season, and we were like, dude, no, like they can't do that. They won't do that. They brought him in to change the culture, and then he like left or got sacked. I'm still not really sure what happened.
He took the culture with him.
So, Shad, run us through what the fuck has happened at Madrid since the last time we talked, how you're feeling, and then we can kind of get into the preview.
Well, since we last spoke, I think Xabi Alonso lost all respect of the locker room. So he tried to implement this grand tactical vision, which I'm still not against it. It's just I don't think Real Madrid is a patient team, and to have such a complete overhaul without the right player profiles, you need patience, and that was never going to happen. But yeah, he tried to implement this plan, and he saw that it wasn't working, and he was getting pressure from obviously the players, and there's a lot of politics at Real Madrid, so there's a lot of pressure in that sense too. And he folded, and he kind of reverted back, and he kind of let them play the same way, just hoping for individual brilliance, which has happened the past few seasons where it seems like coaches just kind of give up and they're like, okay, fuck it. Like, this is what it's going to be. And I view it as like to survive. Like, they're just trying to survive. They're not really implementing anything. They're just like, okay, let's just get through this season. And it's just been like that for the past few seasons. And we somehow magically got a Champions League and a La Liga while having a season very similar to that. But I mean, that season we still had some sparks. There were still games where you're like, holy shit, they're dominating. But this season it does not feel like that at all. So Arbeloa takes over, and from the get-go, he's in survival mode. And you can't really blame him either. But there's not really much tactical change that has occurred other than the fact that he's now playing Camavinga and Valverde as the right and left mid, which has helped a lot. But, you know, it's not much of a change. Yeah. It's not very hopeful. I'm not very hopeful for how this season is going to play out, to be honest. I think the rest of the season, the City game and all the other games to come, we're kind of just banking on individual brilliance, you know. That's our only hope. And hey, it might happen. We have some ballers on the team, so you never know. But I mean, that sucks, right? Like having to fucking hope that one player has a crazy performance for you to potentially win some important games. And yeah, that's kind of what it feels like right now. And I don't really know how they're going to fix it. Ball progression is garbage. Absolutely garbage. One of the worst Real Madrid teams I've seen off the ball. I mean, I've been watching for like probably like 15, 16 years now, and this is definitely the worst team off the ball. And I'm not just saying with like their movements into spaces, because we already know that shit sucks. They don't make good runs, other than some players. Some players do make good runs, and they've gotten better at it as the season's progressed, but they're still not great. But in transition, so poor, so lackluster. When they're trying to even sit back and like absorb pressure, it just feels like players are like they're covering the wrong spaces and they're leaving gaps where like it seems like there shouldn't, like that should be pretty obvious to players of their caliber and quality. So yeah, there's a lot of issues, but I don't know what the fix is other than Trent having really good game every time. If Trent has a bad game, it's fucked. We have no progression.
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, I think the big storyline for me this season with Madrid, barring all the other stuff, usually the talent can paper over the cracks, but there's been so many injuries. Mbappe's been down for forever. It sounds like he might be done for the season. The reporting's on that is weird. Obviously, you lost Rodrigo for the season. Jude Bellingham is like a late season guy now. Rudiger's been in and out. Alba finally got back in the squad. He gets hurt again.
Well, he's like a one game at a type of guy.
That is true. I probably shouldn't have expected much more than that.
It's like Ake right now.
Yeah, is Hoyson also hurt?
No, he was suspended for the last.
He was suspended. Okay, so I'm assuming he steps back in.
He should. Okay. I think so. Yeah.
And didn't Mendy?
Actually, I'm not sure. I honestly think it's going to be Rudiger and Asensio that start that game together. I don't see Hoyson playing. I mean, dude, honestly, Hoyson would get absolutely molested.
Rudiger and Asensio have done good against Holland in past meetings.
And honestly, Asensio is playing on like injuries right now. And just to say something about the injuries, which I actually thought was really interesting. I was watching the Managing Madrid podcast, and they were talking about how if you look at Real Madrid's past 3 to 4 seasons, all of them have been like severely injury ridden, and that just can't be coincidence. It can't be chance. Like there's something wrong. You know, they're not addressing it. The medical team might be doing some issues. Maybe the recovery isn't up to par. Maybe, I mean, I've heard a lot of rumors about there being a problem with the actual field and what the field may. But I don't know. It's kind of ridiculous looking back on it. And then also another thing about that, like another stat that they brought up was that Valverde has played like 1,700, like 17,000 minutes or something in the past. He has the most minutes out of any player in Europe. And he's also the type of guy that covers like 14 kilometers a game. It's not like he's standing in his place. So like, you obviously poor bastard's gonna get injured eventually. What the fuck do you expect? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know what they're doing with all that, but the management has been horrible.
Arbeloa?
No, it's not Arbeloa's fault. I think
like injury
Oh,
management.
injury manager. Okay.
Yeah, because
It
it's
sounds like
been
just
going on
years
for
of build-up.
4 years. Yeah.
That you know what? That does sound like it's been built up.
Yeah, Champions League trophy or two might cover some cracks. I can understand how that happens. Yeah.
Your guys' I think we were talking about this when Xavi Alonso first got sacked, but like your guys' joke era, like this portion that's been his shit would have been like my best era of like the last, I don't know, 15 years, like as a United fan. And so I understand the pain that you're going through because the expectation is so high with Madrid. It always is. And then you've had to come down to earth. I guess earth to a certain extent. Like you're still in the race for two of the most important trophies that you can win. Not to say that is likely at this point, but
but it's also just like
there.
I think as a Madrid fan, I feel like we're at a point where it's like, all right, who cares though? Like it looks like shit. Like we hate watching our team play. Like every time we fucking scraped to a win last game. We scored in like the 94th minute to keep this imaginary title race alive. Like come on, like look at the fucking opposition. How are they passing the ball around these 80, 100 million euro players? Like we have like ex Real Madrid academy players who didn't get a chance, and now we're playing them, and this guy's just doing tricks. Like he's Neymar all of a fucking sudden. Like what is this shit? You guys just standing there watching this kid do tricks on your head? Like what the fuck? Like I don't know. It's hard to watch. So like sure, we're still somehow scraping by results, but the past 2 seasons have been genuinely hard to watch. Like just doesn't look good. Like sometimes Mbappe is doing crazy stuff and you're like, whoa, I'm so entertained. And sometimes Vinny's playing well and you're like, oh great, Vinny's back to his best. And like Vinny actually has been doing great the past like month, but it's just like fuck that, dude. I miss watching a fucking team that was cooking. You know what I mean? Players pinging it around, like you could actually see they have like control of a game in a way where they can hurt you, you know? Because we have games where we have 70% possession, but Tchouaméni, Rudiger, and Højlund have the most touches and most passes out of any Real Madrid player every game. But what is that? These guys are not creative players. Of course, you're not going to create anything if the ball is at the feet of like people who can't create.
Yeah, it's tough. I trust. I know everything that you're saying is like talk. It's literally talking.
Yeah, you feel it.
I'm like, oh, I get this.
Yeah, even just the points of just how bad they are out of possession. Like I remember, I think it was when you guys were at home against Benfica in the playoff round, but like the whole first half, it's 1 or 2 passes and people are just chasing shadows. It was shocking to watch. I was like, this is at the Bernabeu, and these guys can't defend in a 4-4-2 mid block.
Dude, and you know what? Against Benfica, it's like, okay, like Benfica has some class players if we're like, you know, giving them a lot of credit. You fucking watch some of these La Liga games and it's like, all right, dude, like these players, I've seen them get like smoked week in, week out by other mid players. But how are they doing this? Why are they pinging it around us as if there's like no structure? I don't know. It's honestly weird to watch.
It is weird to watch. But it's time to preview this game. I titled it this. Oh, I forgot. I'm gonna have to add him to everything, but this will go perfect in every sense of the word. But
oh shit, here we go again.
I just want to know that we'll probably have to copyright this video. I'll have to cut it. Watching it post.
Water bottle and clipped it out.
Should I do it again? Should I do it again?
No.
I'm gonna do it again because look, if I gotta clip it out on YouTube later, might as well get the clip for it.
Oh shit! Here we go again.
It's also in the thumbnail. Like I felt like I had to just add it in, but that's
I just
how
updated timestamp.
It is. I swear to God, this is like Groundhog's Day. Fuckers play this game Every fucking year. It's that meme of the guy going to get the milk from the cow, but it's just the Manchester City and Real Madrid logos.
Here we go, sunshine.
I've seen that meme maybe for the past 7
3
years.
years.
I was trying to do the math. I think this will be like the 14th match since 2020. And there was a COVID year in there. Like
I've only
We've played 5
4
past
teams.
seasons
We've
consecutively.
played 4 Premier League teams more than we've played Real Madrid in like the past couple seasons.
I had Facundo texting me, City, you're gonna get the easy draw. I'm like, are you an idiot, bro? Like,
Dude,
do you know who they play every
No,
year?
no, no talking about Arsenal on this episode, bro.
I never
Leave
said
them
that
out of
word.
this.
every single person, including the players, were like, we know what's coming. We're all getting this game. We just have to prepare for the inevitable. And that's hilarious. There is a certain part of me as the comic of the group, I would say, because people like to make fun of me, would say that this is the funny part of football.
No, brother. This is not funny.
It's not
This
funny
is-
to you
this
guys.
is-
It's
no,
funny
no,
to
no.
me.
Bro. It's clear corruption. What do you mean funny? The beautiful game is fucked, dude. It's pure corruption. There's no way this randomly happens 5 years in a row. It's just bullshit. I'm not buying it.
I'm
I
gonna
was
point.
say it's unlikely.
I'm gonna point to 2 things that I'm currently wearing, and it's these 2, and this means nothing to me. Absolutely nothing to me. This whole half of the podcast has meant nothing to me because my team sucks. So
Man's
I
just
get
here.
comedic relief. I get to root for Real Madrid.
Hey, you
for
guys are top
the
4
time.
right now.
Let's not jinx it. Like I'm the only person that's allowed to say stuff like that. Everyone else can't say anything. There's enough bad juju with me saying it alone.
Dylan, it's done. There's no way you don't finish in the top 4.
Don't say,
Oh,
God
that's
damn it!
foul.
The United jinxed it. It's over. I can guarantee we're getting Europa.
No
now.
shot it happens.
Whoa! Get
Now
ready.
you're just canceling it out.
I just did the Europa thing where we're talking about a UCL game. We could probably pull up the preview from last year, but there's just more injuries. Do we want to start with City or Madrid?
The one
allowed
thing we
Madrid.
should start with is that there is a Trent that's probably going to be playing and a Doku that is back.
Doku's back.
Did Doku play at the weekend?
No, and that's on
That's
purpose.
good. That's good. he
He
cannot.
played in the game before
Semenyo on the
that.
right?
Huh?
Semenyo on the right? Semenyo
Who
start.
knows, bro?
I like
At
that.
some point, Doku. If Trent is
Doku,
playing,
Trent,
Doku
yes.
will be playing. Like it's
That's
a
food,
guarantee.
yes.
Yeah, that's not a good
But
match.
Trent's
Especially
huge
since,
what
like-
they do. He's one of their only guys who can get the ball forward. Like it's
You see, I'm not really that I'm not tripping about it that hard because motherfucker gets exposed by like random kids
Right.
every week, bro. Like
It
it's
doesn't
gonna be
matter.
the same thing. Like it's
No,
gonna
I
happen.
think-
Regard Doku,
No,
Doku could have been
I don't
no.
think
Let me
he's
finish.
injured.
Let me finish, bro. Doku could have been injured, bro. You could put fucking Rico fucking Lewis on the left side and he's dribbling all the way around. It doesn't matter. You'll create chances at that end. At this point for us, it's just
I
a
don't think
matter of
you-
what else. If he can create, because he's had games where he can't defend and he can't create. If he can create, okay, fuck it. It's
I
fine.
mean that's fair.
But
But
if he
drowning out
can't,
there,
then
getting dribble passed 12 times in a game by one player, then I have a feeling it's going to affect him going forward.
I just don't think that it's gonna be one-sided enough for Doku to get 12 dribble attempts.
They might just flip the pairing of Valverde and Trent and play Trent at right mid. And
Well, that's
play
kind of
Valverde
already
in-
what happens.
That's right. So there is the chance that they just deploy Valverde on Doku. The only thing is,
Well,
I'm a
Take
simpleton.
Valverde out the game, then.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
this
what I'm
is
saying.
fine.
I'm a
This is totally
simpleton,
fine.
and
That
then
matchup is
Pep
not
Guardiola
good
just-
for them.
Valverde, what do you mean it takes Valverde out of the game? This is the role he's played for the whole ever since Trent came back, and he's had 4 or 3 man of the match and second man of the second best player on the team playing that role
Grealish was
because
our
he
best
has
player last time we played you guys.
probably Chouameni or fucking Valverde.
It was Valverde.
Yeah,
On
that's what I'm
Grealish.
saying.
Okay.
You're saying I'm just saying what do you mean he's gonna take him out the game? He's been playing that role and he's gotten 8 assists in the past 4 games.
Valverde's had 8 assists in the last.
Not,
4
I'm probably like 5, but like he's had like
No.
double
Sorry,
assists.
even
Let
if
me
you're
let me
being,
figure it out.
even if
Let me
you're
find.
saying like you're overdoing it, like the number is just. Are you saying in all comps or in this particular matchup?
No, all comps. I'm just talking
Okay.
this past.
Sorry. I don't keep up with Madrid, so that was more of
Okay,
just a. I
in the
needed to know the
past, like
numbers.
he had 2 assists against Benfica, assists against Osasuna, goal before that. Like these are his like the games he's been playing beside Trent in that like right back, right mid role. He's actually been playing his best football of the season because he actually had a horrible start to the season. I don't think that's like I agree with Mila. I'm not trying to disagree. He's gonna get exposed.
No, I
It's
get it.
just like
But also though, like you're talking about these La Liga games, and this is like a different caliber. I'm not even saying that we're that good. I don't think we're that good this season, but it just compared to the other teams. Like if you want to swap them, that's fine. But then Trent's at the right mid or in the midfield, tucking in a
but
little
that's
bit.
what that's exactly how he's been
That's
playing.
probably what he's gonna. The thing
That's
is,
fine.
Madrid
It's just
don't
not
have
gonna.
options.
I don't think because it's been good in La Liga, it's going to be good against Manchester
It hasn't
City.
been good in La Liga.
So what
I
are
think
we
his
even
whole
talking
point,
about?
Mila, is
I'm just
Kenny
saying
can
that
cook him, so Trent's gonna get cooked anyways. It doesn't.
yeah,
It's not
I'm
as
just
bad
saying
as
that's
I
that
think that's
yeah,
what
I'm
he's
saying that's like that Madrid already know this, bro. The whole game plan is gonna be built around this. Like no shit. That's what Liverpool did too. Liverpool, did he ever play fucking defense for Liverpool? No. They played
He tried.
around it. They had to. Yeah, and he's gonna try it again. He's gonna fail. And he's
Okay, he's been
my
exposed,
only
and it's
hope
been
is if
major
he
talking
doesn't.
points in those Liverpool matches too, though. So
Of course, it always is. That's what I'm saying. So it's just like that's a boring topic to cover. It's like we know he's gonna get exposed. It's just
it's a main talking point. That's probably we're gonna attack you the majority of the game.
The issue is, and I think from a Madrid perspective, they don't have any other options. They
That's
use
not
3
my problem either. Like,
No.
if
But
they're
what I'm
injured,
saying
like,
is,
this
you're-
is
what
fullbacks
I think
and 2 center backs like 3 times. Like it's
you're
always like
milking
a
you're
midfielder
milking
here.
a cow that's there's no more milk, brother.
this is the whole point of the segment. The cow
No.
cannot give any more milk.
No, I feel like
That's
I
the
feel
whole
like
thing of the segment.
100%. I 100%. So let's focus on City. Let's say that City's way to beat Madrid is for Doku to terrorize the left-hand side, right?
I personally think that's just one thing that's going to be the easiest thing to exploit. If they want to play a 4-4-2, then that means there's a 2-man midfield too, and against our 3-4-5-man midfield. So there's going to be gaps because of the issues that they're having with injuries.
2-man midfield.
If you play a 4-4-2, like this is where I'm confused too. Like you guys played a 4-3-3 in your last game, but I've also seen the 4-4-2 where they're playing
They play midfielders
Valverde
out wide,
and
left and right mid.
So I'm honestly just confused at what you guys are going to roll out against us, and that'll dictate the game heavily.
I think it's just going to be a diamond the same way it's been the past like 5 games, with Vinny and Gonzalo Garcia up top, Arda Güler, Tchouaméni, Camavinga,
see a 4-4-2
and Valverde.
The apps put all the lineups out like shit, but yeah, I mean they're just playing with the
it
personnel
is
they have. They have a bunch of good
Yeah.
midfielders, and I mean obviously they don't really have a focal point 9. You just have good attackers that are all kind of positionless. The whole team's kind of positionless. That's the problem. I feel like that's what we talked about last time when Xabi was in. But yeah, they have tons of quality, but like Mila's, I mean we saw in the Newcastle game, they're flooding the middle, and then you have Nunez and Ait Nouri who are both dangerous in their own right when they have that much time and space to make something happen. So it's really just going to come down, at least for me, like how clinical are Man City, because they're going to have those fullbacks on the ball out wide in dangerous positions. Can Haaland get on the end of a cross, or can Semenyo touch one in? I think that's how it's going to look in terms of them putting Madrid away.
Also, the thing is, I gotta add, like the reason I think that the whole Doku Trent thing is not as big of a deal is because I think that everywhere on the field we're gonna get exposed. So like it's just like that's like it's other. I'm serious. It's gonna be like, is City gonna take their chances or are they not? Or is Real Madrid gonna have good counterattacks and is Vinny gonna expose his man and take his chances? That's like genuinely like City have not like a talent or man-to-man advantage, but form, football, they have an advantage everywhere. Like they
have a pretty
genuinely
big
do.
coaching advantage too.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I mean by the football sense. That the way they play is better than the way we play right now. Even like the best version of our system right now is like shaky because like we don't have a lot of key players, and two, our team was already constructed in a way where it's not very balanced. So like I just think it's this game is gonna be very much about taking your chances because I think City is going to come and control the game. I just don't see how it won't happen. They're way better than us right now.
It's Mila, what I want to ask you is how do you envision Pep goes into this game from a midfield perspective? Because we saw against Forest, you struggled in terms of the physicality. So do you envision like do you see it as like he fights force with force and he goes with like a Nico G or a Nico Riley in there with him, or you think he starts with Bernardo?
I think you just put in all the fucking people that Madrid don't like, the players that they've had a tough time against, and they are all playing good right now. So, I mean, Nico G is a Barca boy, so he's just automatically one of them, and he's been playing good. So Nico G, Rodri, Nico O'Reilly, and Bernardo Silva in a midfield, it's just energy.
So who drops out in that sense? Is it
That's
Semenyo?
the issue. It's like it just depends what we're gonna do. So like, Cherky hasn't been starting. This is why this is a question at all in my head, is because Cherky hasn't been a mainstay in the squad. Foden hasn't been good.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Semenyo in this type of game, it's interesting. I mean, I didn't even mention Doku. So like, there's multiple ways we can go about this, and I'm not really sure which way we're gonna go about it. And I think a lot of it will come down to just what Madrid will put out on the day.
We all know what Madrid are going to put out, though.
No, I think he means like performance-wise, or do you mean lineups? No, lineup is set. There's
lineups. I've been seeing that some young guys might play against us, like reports and stuff too. So it's like those types of things.
They'll play, but they won't start.
Okay, that's fine then.
Yeah, I think that's what he's been using them a lot, but like I don't think they'll start against City, especially because they don't have any Champions League experience.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's
the best way for me to put it. I see us setting up two ways, and it's either heavy midfield presence, where we just dominate that midfield with force and power, like I was just talking about, or like we were talking about in the beginning, and we play our playmakers on the wings, so the Dokus, and honestly maybe even Savio based off the last game, and just make it hell for those those fullbacks. It could be both. We could go one way for a half, 60 minutes, and then put on the wingers to try to make something later in the game once we've set up a little more and we've more established in a away match. But I don't know. I think the main thing for me is Haaland, because Rudiger and Asensio give him hell every fucking time we play them. They're on top of him. They're fouling him. Like, he needs to find a way to get involved, because if we're playing 10 against 11, that's where Madrid can hit us and actually make it hard for us.
I think you set up. I think O'Reilly definitely plays. I just want to take a wild crack at it. I think it'll be Rodri, O'Reilly, Bernardo. And then the forward three will be Doku, Haaland, and I think honestly Marmoush, because when you mentioned Semenyo in this type of game, I think Shadman's right. There's no way you guys don't dominate possession, and I think obviously you could throw Semenyo in the middle. He can still get on the end of a few goals, but I think that probably benefits Marmoush more this game script. So
the thing is, like, if we're gonna hold and they're gonna try to just sit back and try to beat us on the counter, then Marmoush and Semenyo don't offer me too much, other than the fact that Marmoush can absolutely rifle one from outside the box.
I think he would be better against a settled block than Semenyo. But again, it's not a huge gap.
That's if you're comparing the two. But to me, like, I would rather have someone that's a tighter dribbler, and if that's the case, maybe Cherky Doku with Haaland. But that's kind of what I'm saying. Like,
I just don't think he starts. I agree with you there.
What does Pep want to do? And we have no idea. But
Pep, one of the things that gives me hope for this game is the fact that Pep is a freak, dude. He comes into these games and he overcomplicates the shit out of his own life and his players' lives. So like I really hope he tries to pull off some crazy tactical freak off and he just backfires. Like truly, like that gives
He
me
just
some
needs to
hope.
play Kusanov, man. And literally, it negates like 75% of your guys' game plan if Kusanov plays.
At center back?
Yep,
over
Next
Diaz.
to
over Diaz.
Yeah,
over
I
Diaz.
I 100% agree with that.
I
yeah.
rate it. I honestly
What,
rate it.
because of his pace?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's that
But,
was
like,
like, if we're
Don't
talking
you think
Diaz
that
is-
Diaz
that's
would be
3 times this
necessary
season
for?
also.
Yeah, but don't you think he'll be necessary more so for Gonzalo Garcia and his
I
level,
think you
his
have
type of
Gahey.
movement?
That's
Gahey's
where
good
Gahey
enough.
comes in.
You think
Gahey's much better in the air.
And Gahey's
I-
just calmer all around. He brings that calming presence to put that next to an aggressive guy like Kusanov. It's just a nice harmony between the two. And I don't think Gahey stepped a foot wrong, Mila, since he got to City.
No.
That
Other
last
than
game against
getting
Nottingham
fouled
was
for
not
a goal
great.
against Tottenham. I don't remember him fucking anything up. He's been so sound. So I don't
I
think he can get dropped.
He showed he was human a little bit in the Nottingham game, but nothing like crazy blunders.
Sure.
And also the fact that when we needed it, that center back pairing was freaking great. And the only reason that it got split up was because Diaz came back from injury.
Yep.
Not because they made any mistakes, but solely because one of our leaders came back into the squad. So I feel like Kusanov's been a little hard done by, and he did really well in this fixture last year. He should at least get the chance to start in the away leg. If we need Diaz to be the leader at the home leg, then that's fine. But I genuinely think Kusanov should start over him in this one.
One last thought on City before we talk about how Madrid can win, because I think there's really only one answer to that question. I'm gonna dispute the idea that it shouldn't be Semenyo starting, because you guys went on a 15-minute soliloquy about the Doku thing. And what happens when Doku gets off the left side? He puts in a cross to the right side. And I've already seen Semenyo back post do that all throughout his City tenure, but also the fact that what's his name? Kvaras is hurt, and it's going to be either Mendy or Garcia.
That works
That's
fine. You're basically deploying him as a second striker in that, though.
Right.
Yeah,
You're not using him as a winger. If we're
personally,
utilizing him as a winger, I don't see the utility of him in this game. If we're using him as a striker for that back post run, then I totally agree with you.
That's what I think. I think with what you were saying about Holland occupying the two center backs, that's what he does. Even if he's taken out of the game, Semenyo has been the guy to pick up those runs, and that just makes sense.
Yeah.
That just makes sense to me. But to Shadman's point, Pep is a freak, and there's a good chance.
And this is the scary part about that point that Shadman has is this is the most fit we've looked in maybe 2 years.
So he can really experiment.
We're only missing Gavardio, who is making a freakish return anyway.
Fucking Guardiola, man.
He's got too many toys to play with. So it could be an overthinking masterclass, but he tends to do that after international breaks, after he's had time to let it marinate.
Yeah. So 90 minutes is a long time at the Bernabeu.
I've heard.
I've
not
heard
anymore.
That before,
well, not right now.
Now it's a long time for Madrid fans. For me, the only answer to how to Madrid win is Vinicius Jr. Right? Like that's the answer to this question, right? He has been the star player in these matchups before. He's the only
one. It's Guardiola, bro.
It's Guardiola on it.
No, genuinely
not using City as a use. Let's like City aren't involved in this portion because I agree it is Guardiola overthinking it, but
I'll still counter you with saying that it would be Valverde.
Okay,
because if Valverde doesn't have a good game, to Mila's point, like we're getting fucking cooked down the left side constantly. I'm a little less worried about the City right side because one, it's less certain, right? There's players that could play, could not play. They could have. I'm honestly the most scared of Cherky because every time he comes on against Madrid, I'm like fucking shaking in my boots. He just like glides past people. But I haven't watched much of Semenyo, so I can't really speak, right? I think if we play Fran Garcia there, it's gonna be scary, dude. It's gonna be a bad time for us. But if we play Mendy, there's actually a good chance, and I would if we do play Mendy, I hope that City does come out with Semenyo, and I hope that even if Arbeloa chooses to start with Fran Garcia and he sees the Semenyo starting, he switches to Mendy because of the physicality, and Mendy just played a full 90 minutes this past week, and he actually had a fantastic performance. He saved us. He literally saved us from losing. Tracked down to one-on-one, like literally like old school vintage Mendy. It was kind of cool to see. Strong, fast. So if he can have a similar performance, and I think there's a good chance that I don't have to worry that much about that side, especially because Camavinga is probably going to start on that side, and he's also pretty sturdy defensively. It's just about the right side. So I think like if Valverde has a good game, then it gives a lot of freedom and opportunity for Trent to have a decent game, which is a key because we don't have ball progression, and he is the ball progression, and he is amazing at it. So we just need to give him the time and space and like a little bit of like room to do his magic. Vinny is obviously going to be a big part of that, but like Vinny doesn't get the ball in good positions if players like Valverde and Tchouaméni aren't having good games, because we start getting pushed back, and then the ball starts getting passed around by fucking the two center backs constantly, and then the game starts dying off. And the reason I say Guardiola is because if City is controlling the game, I think it actually is the only way we have a chance of winning, because we don't have the team to sit there and try to break them down. Like, we have the team to create individual moments of brilliance, which don't happen, at least for our team. We don't have the type of player to like quickly dribble through to a couple of players. It used to be Brahim Diaz, but he's kind of washed now. So like we don't have that. We have people that could run at you and then turn and break your ankle and then keep going. Valverde can even do that. When he starts running, he's impossible to stop. And so like I think the key is gonna be how we are able to create offense and how we're able to just connect the back line to the attack, because that's been the biggest issue. Like, by the time the ball gets from the defense to offense, other teams set up, there's nothing left. Now you have to pass it around and hope for something to happen, so I think those are the keys for Madrid potentially getting a dub here. And obviously, like, if we don't secure a result at home, then this is pretty much over. We kind of have to at least get a draw or something. Like, we can't lose at home and then go to the Etihad and hope to pull off some magic with this current team and the injuries. And like, if it was a full team and maybe a different Madrid, I would be like, all right, it's fine. Even if we go down 2-0, like, I'll never count this out. And like, still parts of me like doesn't. And I'm like, every time I watch, I'm like, oh, we're still gonna figure it out. But it hasn't been happening. So yeah.
If I'm being honest, this game or this tie has some shades of that PSG versus Liverpool tie last season to me, in a lot of the same ways. I think the storylines going into it was the English team is going to go in there. They're on the better form. They have the better players. They're that type of thing right now. And then you just need your goalie to be amazing, which Thibaut Courtois is.
He is. That's what we can always count on. That
the other side of this coin is I could make the argument Alisson and Donnarumma, like, that was that's kind of where I'm getting at this. It feels very similar, but it's just
Liverpool were fraudulent.
He's saying Liverpool's Madrid in this situation.
No. I'm saying Madrid is PSG in this situation, because that's how I see.
I understand.
And the reason that I say that is because nobody saw PSG doing what PSG did until they beat Liverpool. And I think this type of performance, this tie, could be the one that sets that in motion. And we all have to remember they lost the first leg. They lost the first leg and then won away.
I don't think this team has enough promise.
That team was a lot more
PSG
connected. That was a young team that was like together from the beginning, and they got
that is hindsight. talking about it. When we went into that fixture, we did not know that. They were a team that just barely scraped into the from the playoffs, then just got over the line, and then beat Liverpool, and then went on.
I think they had more
That's
signs.
what I'm
than
saying.
Madrid.
I'm just saying that the hints are there. And
I understand that, but like it's not sunshines and daisies at Madrid right now is the main issue. Like if they were a cohesive locker room, then 100% I'll give them the Madrid dark magic chance like every game. But I think that it's just so
fried,
so sour right now that like I can't guarantee you that same Madrid magic is going to come into play because they're not cohesive. They're not together right now. Where I think that literally has been like the essence of their club for a very long time is that regardless of if they're the best or struggling team, they can bring it together and win games.
What I'm trying to say is the longer that Madrid stay in this tie, the more they're in the tie. If that makes sense. Like you guys can put it away very early and it can get ugly. But for the same perspective of PSG is they just kept it close for long enough to stay within that race, and then they pounced when they needed to. And that's really where Madrid are.
That's fine. Yeah,
they really are, in my opinion, just a Vinicius Jr. brilliant moment away from stealing anything. But that's how they've been for a long time.
I think because we have the home match in the second one, and they've only beat us when we were the worst we've been in 16 years.
But that's why the Liverpool shades come into play too, because they were the home leg in the second one, and they went in with.
You're like okay. Like we were shit. We're not shit this year. Like we're not the best anymore, but we're not shit.
Yeah, I don't think you're shit, but it's not. I just
last year, and that was the only time that Real Madrid have beaten us at home.
Yeah,
that's my point. Like it's a fortress for us.
I also just saw you guys drop points to Forest at home.
What?
I just saw you guys
definitely be
haven't lost in fucking whoever knows how long at home. So you can look at it both ways. Like we drop points, we're still undefeated at home.
But you don't. That's my whole point. Is you don't have to win at home. The away leg thing isn't as important as it used to be. As long as you're in the tie, and I'm not saying I'm going to predict City to win this because I think they will. But if we're pointing it at the idea of a Real Madrid spin here, that's how they beat you. So they keep you in the tie, and Vinicius Jr. and Valverde are the two best players on the pitch. That's my opinion. I don't know if that's.
I think it's the other way around. I think they need a result at home that is going to nullify whatever result comes away.
I don't think City have been particularly convincing, especially relative to their past. To Mila's point, they're definitely improved on last year's team, and I think Madrid's team is nowhere near last year's team. And
if
I don't
this
think
was a full Madrid
team, we're better than last year's team for sure.
Last year's team.
I'm just thinking of you guys really bad, bro. We had fucking.
I'm just thinking of how unorganized. I'm just thinking, it's pretty bad. You're not wrong.
Fran Garcia, those are like. We actually have some decent players.
Okay, let's just
lump
the past 2 years in. Let's just lump the past 2 years. Madrid are in a very low point. So I don't know. I don't think to the whole PSG Liverpool comp, I don't think they have any sort of semblance of, okay, yeah, well, a few things can go the way, and then they'll build this momentum. Not to say they can't win the Champions League. Of course, Real Madrid can win the Champions League, but it would have to be fluky in terms of performances. Like you would need guys to just turn up. You would need guys to miss chances. You would need a lot to go right.
But that's football.
This is Real Madrid coded. This is Real Madrid.
Real Madrid
I don't think that there has been a matchup through the 14. I bet you 90% of them, City have been favored.
Yes.
Have they not?
I can tell you that for a fact. Yes, maybe
they've
even
been favored
100% of the
bookies or just the general public. I think City has been the favorite. Now, I'm not saying that I have them as in this matchup. I have them as the favorite again. I'm just saying this is from a perspective of trying to.
Here's playing devil's advocate.
Go ahead.
Here's playing devil's advocate to Dylan's point. This is close to team family. Listen, there's a lot of injuries, and the players we have in the squad right now, that's team family right there, like it's possible. This is just playing devil's advocate. But for me, going into this game, it feels awfully eerily similar to how I felt going into Arsenal. And I was pretty hopeful for no fucking reason last year. Except with that, it was more so like, oh, it's Arsenal. Like, fuck Arsenal. Like, they're trash. But it was like I had like this hope that we would pull off this Real Madrid magic, and then we go in there and we just got fucking whooped. Like even if like I would say like maybe the score lines, the free kicks were a little, it happened so quick. I wouldn't say it was very it didn't define the game as much as it didn't look it looked a lot worse than it actually was. But I just like I don't know, it feels very similar where I'm just hopeful for no reason other than the fact that we have a history of pulling shit off that we shouldn't have pulled off. And it could happen, but it's gonna really come down to City not taking it. Like we can win, but that's gonna be like okay, City just missed 3 chances, and now Real Madrid are 1-0 up. City tied it up, but then Real Madrid scored immediately, and now Real Madrid's playing defense for another 50 minutes. If we are gonna win it, it's not gonna be like, "Ooh, what a masterclass! They really cooked."
Agreed.
It's gonna be like, "Holy shit!" Like, how the fuck did Doku miss those 2 1-on-1s? Or how the fuck is Courtois making all these saves? And then, holy shit, Vinny is so good. He just dribbled past 3 guys and made something out of nothing. And wow, Real Madrid just pulled something out of nowhere. And that's just like, it's such a weird feeling because like you're almost like, oh, you're like setting yourself up to be more hurt.
Yeah.
No,
So let's
Rodrigo
do-
is another thing.
Yeah,
that
it sucks.
we just have to mention.
Can't
Like
catch
this is what I'm
Rodrigo.
saying. If they were a fit Madrid team, I would not be saying the things I am saying. Rodrigo is
Sure.
a City killer. He has 5
Yep.
goals in 9 matches against us. Like
I heard he's gonna play.
that's
Just
the whole
torn
reason that we
ACL.
were linked to Rodrigo. Mbappe is another one where he's like, I'm not a huge fan, but the guy's talented and he can fucking pull one out of the hat. Vinny historically has been not the one I'm scared of in these matches. It's mainly Valverde and Rodrigo. Valverde in that midfield position scares me because he has the ability to whack it from 30 yards out. But if he's playing deeper, then that's not as scary to me.
I think Mbappe might be back from the reports I was reading.
He should not
like they're
for
trying.
his own good. As just a lover of
hope
he should not fucking play.
I really hope that it's like
you know what
Well,
the thing that the reports have been saying, he wants to come back because he's also looking to break records. Like he wants to break goal scoring records this season. That's what I mean, I don't know who knows how true any of these reports are, but that's what it was saying. So I don't think it's going to be like a Real Madrid being like, oh, you need to come back. It's more so like him, like, all right, like I'm having a crazy year, like I need to score more goals.
Mbappe is my type of player, man. He's such a James Harden coded-esque player. Like he's just one of those guys that I like because he's just. I know I'm getting the Mbappe show every time I turn on the TV. It was the same way with James Harden during those Rocket years. Like I love that shit. As a guy that has no skin in the game, like give me one. You know what I mean? He's not playing for my team. All right, let's do predicties. Let's round it up, and then we'll do our predicties for the Premier League games. I forgot to do that, and then end of the episode at 1 hour and 30. I knew every time we talk Madrid, I know it's going 1 hour 30. So
2-0 City.
Man of the match.
Doku. I feel like I can't go back on that now.
Shadman, your man of the match.
My man of the match, Tchouaméni. Just playing a statistics game, man. He's been the man of the match the past 4 games, I'm pretty sure. Or some like 3 of the past 4 or something. He's insane. He's pivotal, and I think Arbeloa has kind of unlocked the position for him, and not unlocked the position for him, but a type of movement where he's getting into more goal scoring opportunities because like he's had a goal like 2 of the past 3 games, and they've been the exact same fucking goal. So like it just kind of looks like a drawn up play. And after the game, he was like, "Yeah, he wants me to just start shooting." And so I think it's either him or Valverde for me, unless it's just a Vinny masterclass. If we win, if we don't win, I don't know. It could be anyone off City.
Well, I'm assuming you're predicting a win. What's your scoreline?
Yeah. I can't predict an L. I'm going with 3-2 Madrid. I think like City will go up, and then Real Madrid will like score 2. City will score again, and then Real Madrid will just like do like a fucking header or something. Gonzalo Garcia sneaking around the back post and like forcing the ball in. I don't know. We'll see. That's my prediction though.
Okay. Grant?
I'm going to go 2-1 City and Courtois.
That's a good one. 90 minutes is a long time at the Bernabeu. And I have Manchester City winning 3-1. And I think that Doku is going to be my man of the match. I assume he starts. I think Mila's whole point about him terrorizing makes it that way. I don't.
The only reason he wouldn't start is because since coming back from injury, he hasn't looked phenomenal. It hasn't been bad, but that would be the only reason he doesn't start, I think.
Yeah, that's a good point. I feel like Pep's going to do his thing, and that's what's going to happen. And then bring Shad back in for the Premier League ones. Chelsea play Newcastle to start. I'm going to go. That's a tough week. But they also are playing, they're playing Barca. 3-1 Chelsea with João Pedro as my man of the match.
Stole my scoreline.
Sorry.
I also had a 3-1. I had a 3-1, and you know what? Nah, I already said Palmer. Yeah, I'll go João Pedro. I'll just I'll fade you here, or not fade you. I'll ride that, Dylan.
Hey, I'll
you
be
get
okay.
A I get a predicky.
Yeah. All right, Shadman, do you have a score line and a man of the match for this game?
Yeah, I'll go 2-2 in Cucurella.
I was gonna go 2-2. 2-2 Tonali.
Yeah, that seems fair. He's been pretty good for them. And then Manchester City take on in form West Ham.
2-0
Disaster class.
2-0
West Ham.
Whoa! And that would
Where is it? Where is it?
It's at the Bubbles.
At the Bubbles.
Todibo 2. Todibo 2 headers.
I would turn off my TV so quickly.
I'm not writing that down.
I'm gonna
Holland
go
loves a goal against West Ham, so I'm going Holland. By the way,
yeah, with that in mind, I'm going. I think that they've been riding too much of a high. I think City ride in on a high. 4-0 City.
All right, that's in. We're not winning 4-0 without Pep on the sidelines.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Is he out?
He did 2-0 West Ham. Todibo.
Oh wait, he might not be out.
No, he is.
No, that's for the Liverpool game. That's for the Liverpool game.
Wait, how does that work?
So is it just the FA Cup, or is it just the cup?
How does that work? I thought those were connected.
I don't know.
Fuck it, 4-0 City. Holland's getting his hat trick.
I'm going.
Yeah.
2-0. City, obviously. Cherokee.
Yeah, that seems fair. And then the last game that we will talk about is Manchester United hosting Aston Villa at Old Trafford. I'll start this one off. I'll go 3-0 United. And I think that Benjamin Sesko, after what I saw João Pedro do to that back line, I feel pretty confident that that's what he after what I saw him do. I'm gonna go with Sesko being able to get in spaces. That was pretty ugly.
2-1 and 1-1.
Oh, 2-1.
United win, obviously.
1-1.
Who's your man of the match in that one?
My man of the match will have to be Morgan Rogers, banger, of course.
Cold, of course. Shadmunda.
What game is this for? United Villa. Dude, I don't know. I'll go 2-1 United and Bruno.
Yeah, I probably should have gone.
Take that in fantasy.
All right. Well, that's a lot of predickies. We did 5.
I'll get none of them.
Yeah. Well, of course. Well, yeah, because you're the United jinx.
I just want
you
you
might-
available. That's really what that was.
honestly, that's a smart way of putting it. But that's a good place to end the episode. 89. We're gonna be just shy of an hour and 29 minutes. Special shout out to Shadman.
Thank you for having me.
Your Real Madrid helpfulness, because we don't know that team at all, other than your texts in our group chat. That's pretty much how I get my Real Madrid knowledge. So we appreciate you coming on as always.
Thank you for having me, boys. Peace.
And then Mila, Grant, I'm Dylan. I don't know if I got that. I don't think I got that right.
You pointed to nothing, but that's okay.
Mila, Mila, Grant, Dylan, Shadman. Clash of Clubs 89. We'll see you guys in the next one.
2 words for him. Different gravy. Glorious goal. Wreathed in red. We're really seeing the most extraordinary finish here. On this day of days, has he delivered? Just magnificent. Potentially life-changing. That's football. Minute you let it under your skin, then you begin to make it better.